literature review, The Permissible of Dropship Transaction in Islam by SALAM, concept on subject matter, object and price. Next. The underlying theories. The dropshipping capital is the same as the capital in buying SALAM. Although capital is sometimes transferred to dropship via inter-transfer bank account, but that is not a factor in the agreement. Hello, because dropshipping is happening in modern times where sophistication is technology in evolving and needs to be leveraged, while payment performed at the time of contract with both parties, both sellers and the buyer. Payments are also in cash and in full but via transfer between bank account. Then the statement of ijab and qabul or agreement can be reached is done in various ways and through various media. However, that the most important is the subjunctive of ijab and the qabul can be understood by parties so that they can be interpreted as the will of both parties in the seller and the buyer for the transaction. In the second dropshipping, both the seller and the buyer physically do not meet each other's place. However, they meet in cyberspace through communication or exchanging text message directly due to the distance between them. Dropship can be lawful if the sales system use the contract salam, buy salam. Greeting or otherwise called salaf means the purchase of goods but delivered later, whereas payment is made in advance. The dropship system has something in common with parallel greeting system. In addition to all the requirements that must be met, buy salam also require that all conditions satisfy each harmony. So that is for underlying theories. Okay, for the next slide, this is the discuss every variable concept involved. In this figure 1, show the dropshipping transaction process. As you can see there is the owner of the product, send details to the dropship agent reseller and give it to advertise or sell to customer buyer. Okay, rasanya tak boleh. Okay, for the next slide, 2.2, discuss every variable or concept involved. In figure 1, we can see the dropship transaction process. So as you can see in the picture, in the diagram below, here is the process of the dropship. Before the next slide, 2.3 is a critical analysis of the relationship underlying of relevant variable concept. There are two. First is subject matters, is object and price, and the second one is gharar, or we can call it uncertainty. Okay, for subject matters, object and price, for the transaction to be valid, the product that being offered must be legal, valuable, existing, deliverable, and precisely there to meet. The product sold by the seller should be permissible and lawful based on Sharia. Both the product and the price must be known to the seller and buyer. The buyer should be precisely identify and describe the product and the price that they want to buy. The lack of knowledge in terms of object and non-existence of object will create risk. If the object does not exist and the seller is incapable to deliver it, the transaction is considered as null and invalid. In the dropship transaction, the objective that is considered as the product sold by the agent is not his or her hand. The agent only has a digital picture of the product, including the description of the product and the price. The detail of the product is provided by the owner of the product. The owner will set the fee or commission for the effort in promoting the product. That is for the subject matter. And second, for the gharar, or we can say uncertainty, it can be defined the gharar as doubt or uncertainty as to whether the transaction occurred or not. Others define gharar as indeterminacies involved in transaction. where the quality and the quantity of the commodity on sale are not predetermined and known. It also can be related to risks arising from lack of knowledge about the contract. As an example, object, price and time of delivery. Gharar is prohibited in Islam as it can generate loss. From the economic viewpoint, gharar transaction is considered as a zero-sum game with uncertain payment. This transaction should be clean and free from ambiguity and fulfill all the requirements underlined by the Sharia in order to be regarded as a valid contract. To avoid gharar, both party buyers and the dropship agent are required to have adequate information of product in terms of quality, size, materials and mode of delivery. Product description and information should be clearly explained in order to prevent gharar, uncertainty. In a dropship transaction, it is necessary to avoid any contracting party which can mislead the other party. It requires sellers and dropship agents to clearly define the product that being offered. The image of the product must be displayed clearly with detail of specification, prices, mode of delivery and payment. The dropship agent and the buyer should be able to exchange the message in order to achieve conformity in the contract that binds them together. In dropship transaction, product described with photo and text. Details of the product in terms of material, be available color, in order of material, size, available color and price. That's it for gharar. And the next slide, please.
Resume. Research framework. It is a conceptual framework. 242 by SALAM. The basis of Islamic banking is based on the premise of an existence of an underlying asset. The asset itself must have the following attributes. There exists ownership, possession of the seller. 243 dropshipping process. This is the process of dropshipping. There are 5 processes. 244 align with Sharia. For by SALAM contract, there are important requirements that need to be reconciled between seller and the buyer, which are: 1. The buyer should pay the full price to seller at the time of the sale. Otherwise, it would be identical to the sale of debt against debt, which is clearly prohibited in Sharia. Next, the specifications, quality and quantity of the product should be determined to avoid an ambiguity which may be the cause of the dispute. Third, the date and place of delivery must be agreed upon but may be modified with the consent of the second party. 4. By SALAM can be influenced by homogeneous product and trade by calculating, measuring or weighing according to trade uses and habits. Other items such as precious stones, castle heads and others cannot be sold through of by a SALAM contract, as each individual stone or animal is usually different from other items. 5. It is necessary that the product is expected to be available at the time of shipment. Seed by Asalam should not be affected by product that must be shipped in place. Lastly, in by Asalam transaction, the buyer cannot contract with the seller to repurchase the product that the seller will deliver to the buyer. However, once the shipment is made, the buyer and seller can make a sale transaction independently at their will. 8. In by Asalam transaction, the buyer should not, before taking ownership, actual or constructive of the goods, sell or transfer ownership in the goods to any person. 2.25 Research Hypothesis Proposition.